Here's another quite generic pattern. This is a bead head, soft hackle, flashback, stonefly or mayfly pattern. I've developed it for steelhead. It's generic. It could be any sort of bug that has been loosened from the substrate from a salmon or brown trout digging out a red. It could be from somebody crossing a stream and kicking up the substrate, or it could just be an insect floating free in the current. It's got simple pattern. It's got calf tail. It's got some dubbing for the body. It has flashback, soft hackle, and an orange bead. So let me show you how to tie this simple pattern, and let me get that light back on. There we go. Like I said, this is low budget fly tying tutorials. The hook I'm using, of course, is going to be a Saber brand from flyshack.com, size 8. They're 100 for $6.99. So we're going to take that, and I'm going to take these beads. These are Czech glass beads. Sorry, no, these are Japanese beads, size E. I got these for probably $2 or $3 at the craft store. And you just dig them out. I picked this color because they look like brown trout eggs. Small and orange. Just take your hook and thread the bead through. Shazam, you've got that. Okay. So the ingredients we're going to start off with is going to be Danville Flat Wax 210 denier thread. And I'm just going to start the thread behind the bead. Just wrap it down. There's no weight to this. We'll be using some split shot most likely. Let me adjust that light. This is overexposed. I'm sorry, it's low budget. So we're going to take some baby cowtail. These long ones up here are great for clousers. The ones down here at the base are great for nymph tails. Just take a piece, twist it to separate it from the rest, and cut it off. You got a little clump. Pull out some of the shorter fibers, and we're just going to tie this down. Now, most stonefly mayfly tails should be the length of the distance between the hook point and the hook. Alright, fly's almost done. We're going to take now some Flashaboo Mirage. I get this from Melinda's Fly Shop exclusively in the village of Altmar, New York. I'm just going to cut off a piece. This is just an absolutely beautiful color. We're going to tie that down 1, 2, 3 tight wraps right above. You can use any kind of dubbing. You can use black, Antron. I like something with a little more synthetic bugginess. I picked this up in Colorado in 2005. I don't know what it is, but it's sort of a synthetic looking ostrich or peacock curl. I'm just going to take that and twist it on. I'm not using any fancy dubbing wax. I'm not using a dubbing brush or a dubbing twister or anything fancy, because I'm tying flies to catch fish, not people. I don't need them to look fancy. So that's done. Now we're going to wrap back, and we're going to wrap down the flashback. Just kind of move your way forward until you get right behind the bead. That's it. Cut that off. Now that, as it is going to catch salmon, trout, whatever you want. But I want to give it a little more bling, if you will. I take some Hungarian partridge. I'm going to clean off these fibers, and I'm going to grab the tip, pull back the rest, like that. So it should look like a bow tie almost. We're going to tie that down right behind the bead. 1, 2, and 3. That little extra piece, just cut it off. And I can do this probably in 1 to 2 wraps. I'm just going to go around once. There we go. Pull that back, wrap over that stem, and find that stem. And that's basically the fly. It's going to look like a stonefly that's trying to eat a brown trout egg or any other little fish's egg in the water. We're going to half hitch. We're going to cut the thread. And I'm going to tie about a dozen of these this weekend for my trip up to the Great Lakes next week. What do you think about that? Is that in focus? I can't tell. All right, next up, red rubber San Juan worm. Thanks for clicking on this. Any questions? RobSnowhite.com.